Well, this saga we've been covering for the last couple of days around Hawkesbury City Council continues, where two local media organisations, the Hawkesbury Gazette and the Hawkesbury Radio, have been banned from attending council meetings in person. Yesterday, the acting general manager, Will Barton, told me Hawkesbury City Council is concerned that the mere presence of two media organisations in council meetings puts some councillors and staff at risk of psychosocial injury under the Work Health and Safety Act. Here he was.
We did not arrive at this decision lightly. We knew that this would be cause for significant interest because of the nature of who it is that we have taken these measures against. And I think that kind of should throw a significant amount of weight on the behaviour, or the focus on the behaviour and the calling to account of these two organisations. What has happened is that their presence, given the quite egregious attacks on staff in the past and councillors, their presence in the chamber gives rise to that psychosocial risk.
Yeah, how do you balance this with obviously the free speech issues here? We're going to speak to a couple of councillors at the moment from different sides. Nathan Zamprongo is an independent councillor on the Hawkesbury City Council and joins us now. Morning, Nathan.
Good morning, Craig. And I'm also a teacher. Can I say War on Waste is still required viewing in my classroom?
Good to hear. And just a question in terms of this. Has this been debated by the council itself, or was this decision made at the management level?
No, well, that's the first problem. The Local Government Act says that if we're going to exclude anybody from the chamber, it needs to be ratified by the chamber, and it hasn't. The Mayor and the General Manager have acted unilaterally. My main objection to this is that it's completely un-Australian. Your listeners know that if a government tries to impede the role of a media organisation from doing their job, which includes reporting on what we're doing, it's a pretty bad look. It's not how we should operate. This isn't Viktor Orban's Hungary or Vladimir Putin's Russia, where you don't shut media commentary down simply because a couple of scandal-prone councillors don't like that reportage.
So what are the stories about that are being covered? Did you understand why the people who are being covered in these stories may feel like they're being threatened?
I've read the claim, but it doesn't pass muster. No one can point to an example of the defamatory or racist comment made by anybody in these media organisations. I'm given to understand that both the Hawkesbury Gazette and Hawkesbury Radio have asked, and no examples have been forthcoming. People have said that the Gazette didn't act when members of the public made unkind comments on their social media posts. And I don't want to get too much into the weeds with you, but New South Wales law states pretty clearly that in most cases, media organisations aren't liable for that if they do two things. They provide a mechanism for people to flag inappropriate comment and then act on it in a timely way. There was a court case and some legislation and a change to the Defamation Act that ratified that.
All right, so you think it's been blown out of proportion. Hold on the line then, Nathan. Thank you. Hawkesbury City Councillor Sarah McMahon has been the subject of the alleged threatening behaviour by the Hawkesbury Gazette and Hawkesbury Radio. She joins me now. Morning, Sarah.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So can you explain, I did ask the General Manager yesterday, what is the kind of behaviour that you feel threatened by from the Hawkesbury Gazette or Hawkesbury Radio?
It's just not myself. It's also a significant number of members of our local community. And I would like to start, if you don't mind, by saying that these are not media organisations. Now, I'm a lawyer and I have a journalism degree. These are not media organisations. Specifically, the Hawkesbury Gazette, who has been around since 1888, was recently sold by Australian Community Media and was purchased by a couple of rich locals who have a personal vendetta against the council, against the local RFS, and against a number of other organisations in our community, and has used that very significant platform to pursue those personal vendettas. They are not media organisations.
So you're saying they're not following proper kind of editorial standards that a media would take?
Absolutely not. And as I said, as with a journalism degree myself, media should be, if you are advocating to be someone who's presenting a story, it should be impartial. It shouldn't have bias. It should have actual factual information and not misinformation. It shouldn't be rage baiting where they're putting stories out to our local community, where our community is commenting with some of the most heinous significant bullying, criticism, and we can all handle criticism. I've been in local government for 10 years. But when it is this level of bullying, when people who have purchased a media platform to cause harm, hurt and distress to other people are encouraging this is something different.
So is it not actually the reportage itself that has been of such concern? It's the comments section. It's what they're allowing to be printed as comments underneath.
No, it's both. A lot of the content in the articles is AI generated and it is factually incorrect. So they can't even get the basic facts right in these stories.
Can you give us an example of one of these stories? I still haven't got an example. What are the kinds of stories they're running?
They're running stories a lot on the operations of council. They're getting information incorrect in terms of our sewerage scheme, the operation of our pool, some of our previously called West Invest items that we're doing, the rate rises. There's a whole number, and I'd be more than happy
quickly,
to
Sarah, because we're about to hit the news. A lot of politicians would complain about media organisations, big mainstream ones, being biased in some way. The general way you respond is by responding throughout the media to try and correct that. Not by banning them. Would that not be the correct approach here?
They are presenting a significant risk to both the elected body and our staff and our community. And as the General Manager said on the program yesterday, that risk is something that we have to take into account in terms of safety in our workplace.
All right. Well, it's a fascinating case. We will continue to watch this with great interest. Thanks for speaking to us, Sarah McMahon, the Deputy Mayor of Hawkesbury there, and also Nathan Zamprongo, the Independent Councillor from Hawkesbury. And we have had some statements from the Office of Local Government saying they're currently making inquiries into this matter. So still more to go on this. Coming up after the news,